let's say you have to implement map given flat map and unit. So here's the definition of unit. Basically, it takes an A and it wraps it into an F. Basically lifts the A into an F. And here's the definition for flat map. Which takes an F from A to F of B and returns an F of B. And using these two, we have to implement map. And here's the F of A. And here's the F, which goes from A to B, giving us an F of B. So maybe it helps if we go back to our option and we look at how do we implement flat map and map for option. So there was no unit, but we could make one. So if you're given a something, you just wrap it in an option. So that's easy. Sum of A, hey, you lifted the A into the option. Now the way we implemented flat map, if you remember, was to just call the function. And what we used in that case was x. So if you call this function with x, it will give you an f of b. And the way we implemented map was to do something like sum of f of x. So this was for options. So maybe we can do something similar. Maybe we can use this to help us implement for the more generic case. Instead of option, we're going to use f. So if we look at the return type, it's an f. And we know that we cannot take things out of f's, out of these contexts, out of the wrappers. So we have to lift things into the wrapper. So then we'll start with a wrapper. And the only wrapper that we have here, by looking at these two, is the f of a. So we'll start with f of a. And now you have an a. We're inside the container, the f. And now we can apply our function, f at a. But what happens? The result of this is b. And flat map always needs an f of b. Otherwise, you can't flatten, right? Like, here's the f of b. It needs this f. We only have the b. So all we need to do is figure out a way to add the f. In this case, it was the sum. So how do we create a sum? Well, we don't know exactly what this is, but we have this method called unit, which seems to be doing exactly that. It lifts whatever we give it, the a, into an f of a. So this sounds like a good idea. We give it the b, and it's going to give us a f of b.